Hello. You're tuning into the episode of The Wunderkind Show. Today's second topic, Richard Sherman is not impressed with Lamar Jackson and his MVP level season. Look, so I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's when, Lamar Jackson beat the 49ers or with the Ravens, beat the 49ers on his MVP season. I believe that's the last full season Richard Sherman played in, and where they won that game and everyone thought the 49ers were going to win that game, and Lamar and company went in there with bad weather and beat them and got the W. Ever since, I don't know what it is, but Richard Sherman has not been a fan of Lamar, much less the Ravens. He hasn't been a fan of the Ravens, but because Lamar is always a talking, a talking spot for so much media heads, he takes even more digs at him over even the team. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play what he said today on Undisputed, and then we're going to break it down. So without further ado, let's get this party started.
I hear you. I've seen Lamar Jackson play at an MVP level. I'm sorry, Skip. I've seen it. And the Ravens fans were upset because it was like, he's not an MVP candidate right now with 22 touchdowns on the season. I'm sorry. And people say, oh, you're just stat watching. Well, stats matter. Stats matter when you talk about MVP. If we would have gave the MVP to somebody with 22 touchdowns on the season when he had 50, I guarantee you Ravens fans would have been jumping up in arms and protesting outside the NFL offices because that's ridiculous. But so we're not going to do the same thing here. Brock Purdy has 31 touchdowns total on the season. He has 29 passing touchdowns. He's leading the league in that category. Leading the league in touchdowns, passing yards per attempt, efficiency. He had a 93 QBR this past game.
It was the best.
Skip.
Best of the weekend.
So what we're talking about in every single matchup where you've said there's been an MVP versus MVP matchup. When he played Dallas, MVP versus MVP, he thrives. When you talk to Philadelphia Eagles, MVP versus MVP, he thrives.
Look, there's other stuff that he said, but I want to stop it right there simply for two reasons. One is because you hear how he's coming out. Oh, I've seen Lamar Jackson in the MVP. He's not an MVP candidate now. When you're doing this, right, context always matters. If Richard doesn't know that or the history of the game, I don't know what to say to him. I don't know what to say to him. There's been a plethora of times in the NFL where the guy with the most passing yards, passing touchdowns, and stuff like that did not win the MVP. MVP, there's context, there's nuance to what that is. And look, I know I'm having a lot of Ravens fans saying, we don't care about the MVP, we just care about the Super Bowl. They're not mutually exclusive. They are not. They're not. This notion that they are is hilarious to me. Oh, if he's worried about an MVP or getting an MVP, then he can't win the Super Bowl. Bruh, there's been so many quarterbacks, high-level quarterbacks, that have won regular season MVP, Super Bowl MVP, and got the title also. It's doable. It's attainable. This notion, this mindset of saying, no, you can't have one and have the other. It's comical to me. It's comical. So I already know what some Ravens fans feel. But for Sherman, he's been taking pot shots all season long. He said, look, he doesn't trust Lamar Jackson's arm. He doesn't trust the offense. Heck, he even said he didn't really trust the defense that much. He said all these stuff this season. He said all of it. He said the Ravens aren't consistent enough. But guess what? His 49ers lost 3 consecutive games. 3 consecutively. Look, I'm not a hater. Brock Purdy is playing absolutely great football. But for Brock Purdy to be Brock Purdy, things have to be pretty perfect. We saw what that team looked like when the circumstances were no longer perfect. You understand where I'm coming from? There's a reason why I'm making this, right? It's because even for the masterpiece that Lamar put on tape for everyone to watch yesterday, how much unperfect did we see from the rest of this offense? That O-line was getting shredded. They said that Ronnie Stanley let up 7 pressures by himself alone. 7! I want y'all to really think about this. Seriously. When we're talking about, this is what I'm saying, there has to be nuance and context to these things. Lamar Jackson's weapons. Bateman has missed time, right? Okay. OBJ has missed time, right? Okay. Mark Andrews is out for the rest of the season, right? Okay, right. His best running back out for the rest of the season, right? Right. The number 1 running back to start the season, he's out for the rest of the season, right? Right. His left tackle's missed significant time, right? Right. And he's playing bad because he's still injured, right? Right. His right tackle missed time for injury. Like, what are we doing here? That's the problem. We've already seen Brock Purdy when things are not perfect for him. And he doesn't look good. He loses badly. Makes a lot of bad throws. But you see, when everything's perfect, all of his guys are healthy, all of the defense is balling out. Oh, he looks real good. It's like almost like video game numbers. But that's not true context or nuance, is it? No, it is not. We've watched this man, Lamar, put this team on his back game in and game out. And it's funny because even Shannon Sharp acknowledged it. And the crazy thing is, you know how Shannon is. Shannon doesn't like acknowledging anything, especially when he's wrong. So check this out. I'm going to play one more piece of audio for you, and then we're going to close out, okay? So check this out. This is what he was saying about too much being on Lamar's plate, right? Check this out.
That if he's off slightly,
I want to start over.
tell me if you with me on this. Lamar Jackson, so much is on his plate that if he's off slightly, they're going to lose. Brock Purdy can be off slightly, but because he has a C-Mac, he has a Debo, he has a Kittle, he has an Ayuk, they can overcome it. You look at Josh Allen. I think he and Lamar shoulders a lot more burden than, say, a Brock Purdy.
Facts! We've been saying this. We've been saying this. Cam Newton got shredded for saying this. Facts. Lamar is asked to be the team's best runner or running back, and he's asked to be the team's best playmaker. He's asked to be the most elusive player on the field, and he's also still asked to be a top 5 quarterback in the league. You tell me who the MVP is then. And look, I know once again, I'm saying it as a caveat. I know how a lot of y'all are. Oh, we don't care, Nitro. Just get us to the Super Bowl. That's what we care about. Look, we should want it all. All. Because if y'all do not seem to understand the predicament that we are in, even when we win the Super Bowl this year, what about next year? Are you expecting a precipitous drop in our wins or our ability to compete? You see, what happens is, I've explained this in the previous video or the video before the last video. If Lamar wins this Super Bowl with an MVP already on his resume and another MVP on there, he becomes undeniable. There's already an asterisk next to his MVP year. If y'all don't seem to understand that, I don't understand how it's better to break it down for you. There's already an asterisk next to it. They speak about it as it is an asterisk next to it. You understand? With another MVP and a Super Bowl MVP, Lamar Jackson becomes undeniable. And you know what happens to undeniable players? Other players of high quality will take pay cuts to play with them. Because then they say, this is my best chance to win a Super Bowl. And we're going to have to re-up on a lot of players because 40-something% of our team are free agents next season. I think it was like 48 or something like that. Almost half. And a lot of those are starters. So yeah, Richard Sherman been hating on the team. I've already said the team that I was worried about more is Miami because our defense, when they give up plays, they give up a lot of big plays. And I think that Miami, out of all the other teams, can exploit that more than any other team. But I don't fear the 49ers like how other people do. I think we beat them and beat them by 10 points or more. I truly do believe that. I think the Ravens score 28, 27 points, and they score 13. Straight up, that's what I think. And I think not only do the Ravens win, but Brock Purdy gets sacked multiple times in that game. I think Brock Purdy gets sacked more than 3 times in that game. But we're going to get to see, right? We're going to get to see all the doubt, all the hate that he goes through, that this team goes through, that this fan base goes through. I'm just tired of it at this point because they're pretty much saying it doesn't matter what we do or achieve. We'll see if you can do it in the playoffs. And we already know what's going to happen once we reach the playoffs. There's going to be excuses made if the Super Bowl comes back to Baltimore. That's all it's going to do is more excuses. Oh, Joe Burrow was hurt. That's the only reason why you got it. Daniel Jones was hurt. That's the only reason why you didn't got it. Kenny Pickett was hurt. That's the only reason why you got it. Bare excuses. But what do you guys think? Do you agree that Lamar Jackson is not an MVP candidate like Richard Sherman is saying? Let me know down in the comments section. Or do you agree with me and think that we should be going for everything under the sun, which will benefit us down the line and in the long run? I want to know. Type it in the comment section, please, all right? But as always, that's the episode of the Wonder Kind Show. Thank you for watching. Y'all know how we get down. We have fun and we laugh. But everything we talk about rooted in what? Facts and truth. Please do remember, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment. You know, love the comments. And if you haven't done so already, check out the Wonder Kind Show's Patreon. Yes! 3 tiers of content goodness whenever your consumption. Give it a look, give it a try. Let me know what you think. And if you would like to donate to this channel, at the bottom of the screen right here is a QR code. QR code is to a Cash App. Cash App's located in the description of every video that we do. And the name of it is The Wonder Kind Show. Super easy. And that's how we've gotten all of our equipment, through donations. So just let you guys know. If you want to help, that's how you do it. But as always, once again, it's The Wonder Kind Show. The show is Nitro signing off. And as always, you guys know my slogan. Peace. And I am out of here. Yeah.